Hi, I am Meenakshi from Informatica GCS. In this video, we will see how to test Azure SQL DW connectivity outside Informatica. The agenda of this video is to discuss what is Power Exchange for Azure SQL DW. DW here stands for Data Warehouse, and how to test Azure SQL DW connectivity outside Informatica. We can use Power Exchange for Microsoft Azure SQL DW connector to read data from and write data to Azure SQL DW or Azure Synapse SQL. We can also use Microsoft Azure SQL DW to collate and organize the details from multiple input sources and write the data to this data warehouse. You can read data from and write data to Azure SQL DW case-sensitive databases also. How to test connectivity outside Informatica. To get the test utility, we can refer this article. Here in this article, the test utility is attached. We can download it and extract the content. The steps are as follows. We have to set the parameters in config.properties file. Please note that we can only set the mandatory parameters, and we should also not change the name of this file. Then we have to set info home on server or client home on a client installation. So if we are testing the connectivity from a server machine, then we have to set info home, and if we are testing it from a client installation, then we have to set client home. And after that, we have to just run the bat script or the shell script depending upon the operating system. So here we can see that this is a sample config.properties file. Here I have already set the parameters. So we can see that these are the mandatory parameters. Here I have provided the Azure JDBC URL and then the Azure JDBC username, password, schema name, account name, blob container, and the account key. Now here these are the optional parameters. So if there is no table name provided, then only connection is tested. Okay, now let's see how to test this connectivity outside Informatica. Please also note that this test utility is provided as a step to isolate the connectivity issue outside Informatica. So this test utility will try to replicate the connector behavior, and if the utility test fails, then the user has to check with their Azure admin like why we were not able to connect from the server machine to Azure. Okay, so I'm inside this folder Azure DW connectivity test. Here I have extracted all the contents of this utility. Let's see the contents. So this contains a shell script, a bat script which is for Windows. There is a readme file. This is the jar that is used, and this is the config.properties file. So we just have to run the script. I'll run the script, and we can redirect the output to a sample output file. Let's name it as test output. The result of this test will be redirected to this file. Let's see the content of this file. So here we can see that info home is set to this one. I had already set the info home variable, and Azure connection test begins. These are the connection parameters that I used. Now since the table name was not provided, it is just testing the connection. Here we can see that message, no table name provided, only JDBC connection and blob container initialization will be tested. So this is the connection test and it is successful here. It will also show the query time that is taken, time taken to run the query, and the script has ended. We would love to hear from you. Please share your valuable feedback. Thank you.